left circle. It's good that you're doing that. Remember that the goal of this is to get the right side, in this case, the right side muscles to stretch, and the left jaw muscles here, exactly, to relax, and you know, for him to start salivating around the contact of the bit and liking it. So always be ready if he even indicates by pushing that hand that's holding the rein forward and down. So as soon as he starts to go, oh, where is it, and he doesn't stiffen in response to it, the moment he yields a little tiny bit, you want to push your hand forward as kind of a sort of a dramatic reward. And, you know, I didn't take lessons from John Lyons, but this is straight from him. You know, it's the same method. And remember, your goal with this always, when I watched some video clips that you sent me, because, look, he has the right size head for his breed, okay? But it's not tiny. He's not a jug head. He doesn't have a huge head. But it's not small. His head and neck apparatus are substantial, but not out of proportion. They're just, some horses are really tiny, right? So when you have this ratio of that much neck and head mass, he needs to elongate, and the most important thing is stay super centered. So the little clips that I saw, of course, it's two-dimensional, it's on my phone, it's that big, that you sent me. Sometimes it looked like he was a little bit...
Too much neck bend.
Too much, well, I wouldn't even call it neck bend. It's...
Jackknife.
Yeah, not really jackknifing, maybe boomerang would be more generous. You know, like a boomerang has this kind of like, whatever, 180-degree angle. So I really want you to think about, like, you know when you're backing up a horse trailer, how it's the beginning of the end when it starts to jackknife at your hitch. When you start going and it starts going like this and it goes the wrong way, you're basically screwed, right?
Yeah.
And you have to go forward and straighten out. So with him, always be thinking about where that cervical spine comes down and joins the rib cage, the part of the spine just above his sternum. So think about that. And so the next stretch is super temporary. You do want to supple it up, but your big message for him is alignment. Yeah, and the stretching forward and down is good, but we also want it stretching forward and down politely, you know.
Yeah, not taking it. He's gotten so much better.
Yeah. And the other thing is start...
He's never been stretched before.
Yeah.
He was like down,
I know.
down.
And so it's going to be weird. He's going to be like, what are you doing? And it's going to be jerky, and don't take it personally. It's just like you're just introducing him. But you see how his saliva's dripping now? The saliva's actually, I'm not saying he never has ever done that before, but I'm just saying the first time that I saw you ride him, it wasn't dripping out like this. So you're making this kind of progress. So you're changing his jaw. See, the parotid gland right here gets the little ducts that come from it. It's where the saliva is basically, hopefully I'm not wrong in the anatomy here, but it has a lot to do with where the saliva is generated, right? And when the muscles in the jaw are tense like this, then the little ducts that send the saliva into the mouth get completely cut off. They get squeezed.
They start quacking.
Well, they get squished, and even if there's saliva present, it can't make its way into the mouth. So the fact that he's drooling and having this nice soft white foam is a sign that he's that his salivary glands and his parotid glands and the muscles around them, which are these muscles in the jaw tensing area, that's all relaxing. So this is the most important thing that you do in the beginning in the walk. I mean, you're already doing the thing like keeping him walking, keeping his attention on the inside of the arena, so I'm not talking about that, but I just take that as a given, that you're going to keep him moving, and he doesn't need to do a bunch of halts in the beginning. But he does need, basically, you're setting the stage for this is how you and I, horse, are going to relate to one another through the rein. It's with politeness, it's with respect, it's with softness, it's with guidance, and we're not locking him into any kind of a frame. We're going to show him the area. We're going to show him the zone where we're happy, where we know it to be good for his balance. So let's say it's a little bit like this. When you start to go a little bit left, right, and try to get a little bit bilateral contact, right?
Yeah.
So, and he's like questioning that. So if that happens, always use your outside rein to say, hey, I even started saying the words to my stallion, head down, and then I lowered my outside hand. And I'm trying to get him to actually just go on voice command. That when I say head down, he'll be like, oh, I put my head down. And it will work. So you can even, it's kind of like also it's to yourself, right? You're saying to this, oh yeah, you go like this, left hand down, head down, matter of fact, head down, boom. And then it goes down. And give yourself like a count to 2. On your mark, get set, 1, 2, head down, done. Head down.
Lay down.
Don't worry about the dog. Don't worry about the dog. She'll learn.
She will.
The world and time will teach her. So yes, and so with the head down, look, if he's not getting it, sometimes I do this. I say, like, just take your hand and drop it. Just drop in this very lazy way, keeping your elbow. And then, usually what I do right after that is I caress with the leg and the leg. And that gets his abdominal, that will activate, once he drops his head, then you try to activate his oblique abdominals, usually the inside first and the outside second. So I would tend to do outside rein, outside hand down, inside leg sweep from back to front, and then outside leg sweep from back to front. It's like a 4-part little 1, 2, 3, 4. Hand down, right leg sweep, left leg sweep. Good. And then with the voice, good boy. I really want you to, also with these PREs and this breed, use the sound. Use your voice to reward so that you're not always, it's a very, very effective. They really are auditory. They're very, very sensitive to sound. So they also really appreciate when you reward them with your voice. You're like, oh, good boy. And that can be even under your breath, you know. Get used to, that's good. That's very, very good. So when he gives you like a whole half circle, like he's going now, and he's chew, he's like the Chewy ad, right? For the dog food that you can get delivered to your door. Chew. And he gives you a whole half circle, 20-meter circle like this, and then you change rein and you repeat in the other direction where he's actually chewing down, not on a solid contact, but on a pleasant communication. Let's just call it communication using both reins. Nothing stuck, just like get him to that area. Get him to the area where, get his bit into that zone where the communication is good. And you're looking for, when his head comes down, you're looking for the subtle feeling between your thighs, that you actually feel the head and neck go down, and the nuchal ligament, which is what you're sitting on, you actually feel it come up between your thighs. So you actually should feel his back lift. So what you're not trying to do is just get the neck, round like that, because that won't last. He might round his neck, but he won't. The thing that keeps him round is his back muscles stretching, his abdominal muscles contracting rhythmically, and then his whole pelvic structure stepping under. So then the third component of this is for you to bring a tiny bit of weight back in one shoulder and the other shoulder, and then tell him what to do with that weight. When he feels the weight come back towards the haunch, let's say your left shoulder, bring about 5 pounds back towards his left hind leg by bringing your left shoulder back, and you caress him with your left leg and hold him with your right leg. Now you're working really on the pelvis, right? And then, secondarily, bring your right shoulder back without losing the left shoulder, and caress him with your right leg while holding your left leg at the girth. And then keep making friends with the bit, right? Keep making friends with your mouth, with his mouth, so that when he asks you questions like, oh, should I resist? Should I get tense about being asked to bring my pelvis under? No, it's all sweetness and light. Sweetness and light. We're still friends. So you're putting all 3 parts of the package of the horse. So when you assemble that in the walk, and you've taught him your alphabet, this is your alphabet, this is how you ride, okay? When you've done this in the walk, now it's time to go trot, because you've introduced all these things. If you spend too long in the walk and not having talked to his haunches, not having tried to bring some weight back, not having tried to address the oblique abdominals, and only done the neck, as soon as you go to trot, he's going to be above the bit. So, but if you spend too long in this session, he's going to get slow and behind the aids. So the horse is always your calendar. He always tells you how long that walk period needs to be. If he comes out and he's round and puffed up and has a ton of energy and his back is lifted and his neck is arched and his pelvis is tucked, go ahead and trot in the first 30 seconds. So but I love the idea that you are explaining the alphabet to him, the language by which you and he will be communicating. And for a horse that needs a little reschooling with the bit, he needs a little, it's not a huge amount. It has to start with that mouth, because he can never pretend like the bit is not in his mouth. It's always there. So when you start, always, well, not always, there's no real always. So I would say more outside leg. So more outside leg and outside rein for him. I always say that in arenas where it's how he's a little bit bulging out. Yeah, so left hand down and left leg limiting where he can go. He can't go out through the left shoulder. Your left leg is saying, hey, it's kind of like your left leg is like a moving telephone pole that's right beside him, and it's like, well, you don't want to crash through this single post fence, right? Your left leg is just that fence post that's right beside his withers that keeps saying, you can't afford to drift out to the left. So with him, and I would say that is, if I had one thing to say about the little clip that you sent me, is that if we can add this to your riding, add this element, already start right leg, the right fence post, the fence post on the right. They sound like a line dance chanter. To the right. My wife is addicted to line dancing. I'm like, have fun. I'm not going with you. Just a lot of old ladies.
I would so be Lucille Ball doing that. Always the wrong way.
No, I would be like so double dyslexic. So outside leg, outside hand down. See how those two are friends. If he comes a little bit above the bit, your outside hand down with the elbow bent. Outside hand down with the elbow bent. And then support it with the leg so that right hind leg, why the outside leg? Here, a couple of reasons. Number one, to create a fence. Number two, because actually the harder task here is for his right hind leg to take slightly longer strides. Everyone's always preoccupied with the horse's inside hind leg, to the exclusion of the outside hind leg. But really, for a horse to go well on its circle, And now you're going to the right circle. The left hind and the left front actually need to go on a longer path. So lower left hand, ride him left leg to left rein. And then use your right rein with your right leg just to make sure that his inclination is to the right. If he doesn't turn, turn your seat faster, right? If he doesn't listen and won't turn, turn your shoulders. Rather than using more rein, yeah, see? When you turn your right shoulder back, it puts your seat down and forward, and it puts your right leg in the right position. Did you feel that? Yeah, but notice our tendency when he won't turn is that we instinctively go to the inside rein, and that pulls our shoulder actually forward. So always, if he won't turn, inside shoulder back. Yes, and then outside leg on. Good, so you have him between your right shoulder and your left leg. Good, and your left hand. So those are the 3 aids for really keeping him round without using the reins to bend him. It's outside leg, inside shoulder to turn, and outside hand. Then the minor aids are the right hand, the right leg, and let's say the left thigh, okay? The left thigh, the upper leg, represents your seat on the outside. Good. So try now maybe a 1/4 of an inch longer rein because he's a little bit contracted. So as soon as he's showing that his neck is, oh, you want me to make my neck a little bit like a squashed turkey neck? Then you say, oh no, I'm another person. I actually want your neck slightly longer. Huh, funny how that happens, you know? You just, as soon as he says, well, we could just make a little issue out of this and contract my neck and we can get really into something, it's like, oh no, I love to stretch, right? And then when he's stretched, look how good it is now. And how much did you lengthen the rein? Right, like that much. Because he's like, ooh, I'm special. Now I have a new way of balancing. I'm really special. Now already, because he's round and gone properly on the bit in both directions, the next thing to do is to start to vary the gait. Okay? So when you get to the wall, you're going to say, this is a nice trot. We like this trot. It's good. Now add. Okay? Just go 3-4 strides a bit more. So it's always knowing in your ride the aids, the patterns, the way you converse with the horse, and when are those milestones inside your ride when you can go to the next step. Because many people would just say, I was at Ohio a couple of weeks ago, and they're like, well, my other teacher just says she's completely above the bit, but just keep riding her gaily forward. You know, more and more and more forward. It's like, the horse is out of balance. It's not in balance. It doesn't have a top line. It doesn't have any way to hold herself up. So she's like hard to turn because she's getting to the end of the arena wall and sort of bashing into the wall. And it's like, she won't listen to me. Well, you haven't given her a top line to carry you with. So the top line you have to create with impulsion. Good. So again, he's asking you a question. He's saying, should I have my head a little higher here? And your answer is, no, I like it when you're a little bit lower. So your outside hand first. Good. Drum, drum. Yeah, remember. So see why I want you to teach him that language? Because you did it earlier in the walk, and he's like, ooh, I'm so smart. I remember. So put my nose down. We want him to put his nose down to that pre-sneeze. There's a height at which his nostrils get into that pre-sneeze. Hey.
Come here.
I will train that dog. I'll take her over here if you want. Just give her a jerk on the neck collar every time the horse comes, even if like just like this, boom, just little, like you have a tick, yeah. And then you just say no. I love you. No. Good. Good. So start adding more. Look at the neck. Check out that his neck is coming all the way back to the wither. Beautiful. That's your gold. I mean, he's gold, but you need to make the internal content gold, right? Look at that triangular neck coming up out of the wither. That's the one that you want to build. That tells you the head height. Very good. Watch it shimmer. You can change rain. Very good. Very good. Keep it. Not easy. Remember, outside leg. Outside hand soft and down. Outside leg driving that right hind leg that was previously on the inside of the circle into a longer stride. And then your inside shoulder to turn. Use your left shoulder. Turn them with your shoulder, and that gives you the liberty to give with the inside hand. If you turn them with your shoulder, make sure your shoulders are paralleling the pattern that you want him to be on, not paralleling what he is doing. Or I should say perpendicularing, right?
Right.
You know, don't ride perfectly square to the horse if he's a little bit haunches in, right? If he's not turning fast enough, you need to get yourself on the right orientation relative to the circle, like 90 degrees, or parallel to the radius of the circle. Turn that. So if you do it a little bit in advance, we're going to our next exercise. Bring your inside shoulder back a little bit more than it should, and give on that left rein. Left shoulder back and back. Now you're already starting the shoulder in, right? So make sure, and you can do the shoulder in for this horse's age in the rising trot, and also for his breed. To do the shoulder in this rising trot is extremely important that it's rising, because he's preserving the suspension in the trot. They have all a tendency to lose suspension. So to do shoulder in, because everybody says you're supposed to sit the trot, not with this breed, not until they've really done it. Yeah, he's already doing shoulder in. And remember, the other name for this is head in volta, which means bring his head inward towards the center of the volta with your inside shoulder, not your inside hand. Turn your shoulder quicker. So it feels a little bit like a twist each time you post. Twist to the right, even if you're on the straight a little bit. Yeah, right. And I would twist as I go up. Don't twist as you go down. So twist now and now and now. That's when the right shoulder comes back. Because that's when you have way more control over it. It's like as you twist, as you go.
Sorry, buddy, I'm trying to figure that out.
The left knee still. Good. Right shoulder twist as you go up. Twist back.
My right shoulder back or
Right shoulder back.
as I go up?
Yeah,
Because that's the very opposite of what
I know.
I gotta figure that.
The
halfway
left
out my
elbow
brain.
down. Anchor your left elbow down like it's got a milk jug in the crook of your elbow. There you have it. You have it. And then you can drum down a couple times with your right fist, just so he finishes his neck. No, it's going forward. So back. Just think, I would get up and stand in the middle of the circle, and like you want to show the person in the middle of the arena your lapel. There's little stitching, a logo on your left lapel, and you want to show it to them. So you're taking this left lapel here and turning it inward. Yes, that. And then collect them more on the outside rein.
Well, I'm trying to get my body going.
I know.
He's like, what the hell are you doing up there?
My girl, get it together. I'm trying to teach you how to get the shoulder in with your torso, not with the reins and legs. So one way to think of this is pushing your left pelvis forward. So you kind of thrust your left pelvis, advance it. Yeah. The left pelvis thrown a little bit forward. The right pelvis kind of more like posting up and down on the spot. And the left one sending your left pelvis forward. Your iliac crest, sending it forward. Good. And then now, because you got a little bit rushy, you feel that, right?
Yeah, well, I'm driving him to keep
I know. So when the rhythm is slightly fast like this, then now would be the time. That's a signal that you can sit the trot. So I would sit the trot, and I would also add 10-meter circle to slow the rhythm down. Because you have good energy. So use the 10-meter circle, and you can use a downward transition to a slower trot. And if he feels stuck on tracking to the right like this, don't suffer in silence, change rein. With a figure of, little figure of 8. Good. And maybe he needs to come back to walk momentarily, to rebalance, to walk. Yeah. Good. Round. Let's think about what we were doing over the last 15 minutes. We were like, we're raising the bar, we're raising the bar, we're raising the bar. So right now, with no hand, just peacefully come to a halt with no hand. Just sit tall, extend your legs down. Good. And then chew, 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 chew. Chew down on the bit. Good boy. So, right? For him, just, we're waiting for that. Waiting for that. Just like that. You can even make that sound. I do it all the time. If people around the arena start to think that you're weird, you're in good shape. You need to be horse person, not people person. Right? Good. Tell him with your voice. Good boy. So he's like, oh yeah, I forgot, I am good. So this is like the first halt. Then walk on. And then think of the halt as a little bit it's not a defeat. It is a reminder. It is a reset. A reset of one thing. The reset of what? It starts with a B. Balance, right. We're just saying, hey, we had energy before. Somehow that energizing him got a little bit... The energizing got a little misinterpreted to rushing, right? Got a little bit misinterpreted to rushing. So now, when there's another horse distracting with the stallion, inside leg, outside leg, tick, tock, not kicking, just deep boom, deep boom, deep boom. Your legs are kind of like professional flopping on the side. Tick, tock, tick, tock. My name is Amie Perryman. Amie Perryman. Up here on board, I am your friend, and I'm the only person you need to, only entity here that you need to pay attention to. It's me, 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 me. Left, right, right. Right, left, right, left. And back, control him back with your elbows. So your elbows gather him. So your elbows stay here, your hands are soft, your elbows stay still, and you tick-tock, and then quiet the tick-tocking when he puts his head down. So the reward for putting his head down is the tick-tocking is not as loud, or it ebbs, yeah? It just diminishes. And I would try another on the bit, on the bit, on the bit, on the bit, into halt on the bit. Not coming off the bit. Don't halt if he comes off the bit. Just keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Yeah? Those. Like, almost halt. Don't let him halt. He has to be perfect to get to halt. You see what I mean? Keep going. Tick-tock, legs. Yeah. So you keep driving. You keep driving a little bit in the background into halt. So he's not going to halt by hollowing his lower back. Tick-tock. Head down, head down, head down. And good. And walk on. Good. Super. Does that help? Okay, good. So when you're ready, we should do the canter also. Does the footing feel okay? Yeah, this is a very good, firm fitting. How do you usually enter into the canter?
It depends.
Yeah.
Today I think probably the trot would be better.
Yeah. For the younger horse, it's really better in the trot. So think of it this way, that you're not really trying to change the speed. You're trying to canter actually at the same speed that you departed the trot from. So if it's 12 miles an hour trot, try to do a 12 mile per hour canter. So if it starts to rush, then 10-meter circle in the trot, You can be on the correct diagonal. You can be on the correct diagonal, then you can sit twice and post on the wrong diagonal for like 2 strides before, post for 2 strides on the wrong diagonal before you ask him to canter. If you want to do it from posting trot, that's a way to do it. Why would you do it from posting trot? If you felt like his back was not swinging, if you felt like when you sat the trot suddenly his back got rigid, then you might actually do it from the rising trot. So let's go to the trot now. This is a test. It's just a test of attention. And his ears are back and they're listening to you, and he's tempted by the distraction of the other horse, but it's fine. These are little incremental tests. You'll have more tests at a show. So, you know, he needs to survive these. Good. So, collect in your elbows. Collect in your elbows and bend. So, inside shoulder back, outside leg and outside hand down. Bring his head down and look for that long, round muscle on the top. Get the top neck muscle in your most ideal trot. Let's lower it more. And bring the nose slightly to the right. A little bit more positioning to the inside. So a smooth, we haven't done this yet in the trot. It's a smooth, sort of continuous contact on the inside rein without pulling his nose out of alignment. So feel the smoothness of the right rein. That's very different than what you would do. And then squeeze the rein in your hand to get a little bit more elbow. Yeah, and there should be a little bit of this contracting without bringing his nostrils off to the right too far. So your left hand has to limit. Good. And then sit the trot twice and canter. Feel the rein. Feel that right rein smoothness. Again, continuous smoothness. Yeah, good. Reward him with voice. Good. More outside leg. Again. Good. Look up. And a little bit more hollow at the shoulder to the right. So take your right hand and move it to the left. Yes, just that's enough. That's enough. Just that. That's okay. Good. Lower his head and stretch him down. It doesn't have to be a ton. Stretch him down, change rein through the circle. So we visited the right lead. I would go to the left, because you see, if you keep going back and forth, one will help the other. He was a little bit heavy on the right shoulder there. So just make a note of that when you go to the left lead, you want to make sure he's not heavy on the left shoulder or the right shoulder. So careful you don't get him too bent to the left. The right hand here has to limit him more. Good. Now send him forward in the canter. Good. Looking up and kind of riding up a hill. Give more on the outside rein. Give always a little bit bigger with the young horse on the outside rein, and a little bit more conservatively yielding on the inside rein. Keep your shoulders above or behind your seat. They're a little bit in front. Yeah, get behind yourself. So your seat gets, push your seat in front of you. Yes, that's how you get the horse in front of the aids. Good. Shoulders behind or above your seat. Don't lean, don't make him go by pushing your chest forward. Outside leg. Yeah. Outside leg will always save you, because it's the strike-off leg. When he feels like he's going to trot, don't push your chest forward. Touch him with your outside leg, which is the 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. It's the 1 beat of the canter. Get him with that outside leg, and you get him when the forehand is down. You get him like now, or now. That's just before the right hind leg touches the ground. You see? Now he's more in front of the aids, right? Okay? So that's where the timing of the aid is super important. When that left front leg starts to come to the ground, that's when you need to be holding with your left leg and touching with your right. However you decide to touch. Yeah, good. Not chesting. Don't chest. You'll see what I mean when you look at the video. Like don't chest him forward, right? As soon, that's for this year. Like we should all have. You can come to the trot and change rein. Keep him round again, just like the walk transition. Don't trot if he's not round. So your new rules are, we have to keep, try to make it keep going. Just like when we walked and halted. Remember how I wouldn't let you halt? Kind of don't let him trot unless he's going to, we have a 95% chance of it being round. You can change rein. And you can have a little walk rest in here. So what I was going to say is for your riding this year, this is a suggested goal. I want you to maybe even save the date, like whatever we're on, February 24th today, and just have a look at your canter seat, because you have improved so much from the very first time I saw you on your paint. Because, you've come...
I came off of 4 years of not riding and a neck injury.
I know.
So there was a lot of rebuild and a whole new body.
And the confidence and all that, but look how athletic you are now. And you even had like a leg problem.
I broke my leg.
Yeah, don't do that anymore. No more neck injuries, back injuries. No more jumping out of planes, okay? No more skydiving. Oh, yeah. No, I'm just sort of, But I want you to have a goal that when, even in 2 months, when you look at yourself canter, you are kind of in repose. So it should not have the bubble cloud over your head going, oh God, he feels like he's going to break. And I have to press him forward with my seat, with my chest. I want you to press him forward with your seat. And look, it's like me going like this versus me going like this. Like if I sit here, I'm the chairman of the board, right? This is the chairman of the board. This is the stenographer. Okay? So this is the person pleading. This is the person. The other reason for this is it puts the weight of your shoulders a little bit more on the haunches. That's collecting him already. It's rebalancing some of the weight. That you're counteracting the fact that his head and neck is hanging out there in front of his front legs. So your torso staying slightly back offsets his head and neck being carried way out in front of his front legs. Because if you just sit neutrally, we will never get the horse collected. You actually have to do this weight shift of bringing the weight back. And then, as soon as he feels the weight back, guess what he's going to try to do? He's going to try to quit or turn his engine off. And you have to be right there with the drive, outside leg. So bring shoulders back, outside leg, bend. In this direction, more bend. Yeah, and push your seat in front of you. So your shoulders are almost feeling like they're getting left behind. Your shoulders left behind. Your seat forward and down. Your seat to the furthest forward place. Don't ever let your seat be in front of your shoulders. And now play with your hands like this, yeah? Play with your shoulders way back. Yes, play back. Hands down. Play with your fingers, not so much with your hands. Good. Now you see how you're getting collected canter? Yeah. You're getting that collection. You're collecting him by rebalancing, by taking some of the weight. Saying, hey, why are we parking all this stuff on your front legs? It's ridiculous. You as the leader are shifting the weight. You're saying, I'm going to put some of my weight on your right hind leg if we need more bend, on your left hind leg if we need more thrust. So that's how you decide. Am I bringing my right shoulder back now to get more bend and more sitting? And if we need more thrust, the left shoulder back, right? Left shoulder back and then left leg, holding with the right leg. Yeah, good job. Look how good his collected canter is now. I have not seen it this good. Don't let it bend the wrong way. Yeah, that was good. Downward, right? It was round. He didn't come apart. He didn't open. And he was going at the same speed trot that he was cantering pretty much. So let's change rein. Now you have to raise the bar. You have to now try to make the left canter that good. Just have a muscle memory for what it is. You can come in. You can come in anytime.
She doesn't really know the rules of the road,
Oh, that's okay.
so it makes her a little anxious. I will ride around you, but you can come in.
Yeah, I'm not keeping a timer, so. Yeah, you got a couple minutes, so lower that right. Don't rush. Let's go back. I know, but he wasn't round enough and he had 2 steps of rush, so just do it again. It's okay. It's not wrong. I just want you to repeat it. It's kind of, so lower that right hand, connect the right elbow, bring the weight back onto the right hind with your right shoulder, and now bring the weight back onto his left hind with your left shoulder. Now supple the jaw, make him rounder with lower hands. And then stay in that sitting position. Stay back like that as you canter. Better. Now chew the mouth a little bit with your fingers. Tiny, fast finger movement like this. Look. Blah, 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 blah. Fingers, not hands. Keep your hands in the same place. Just massage your fingers. Yes. Good job. Good. Remember, weight back and then leg stroke. Go. Yes. Go in the collection, right? Hands down. Good. Reward him with your voice when he gets, you can't really afford to pet him. You just have to say, good boy. Good rounder. You get it really good over here. Keep this. Keep. He has it. Super. Outside rein, outside leg, inside shoulder to turn. Right? Just tell yourself the new method. So outside leg, outside post, outside rein, outside hand down, and left shoulder. Good job. It works better than the inside rein. Really. Good. Try to get this downward being fantastic, round, balanced, same speed. 1, 2, 3, round. Rounder. Little rounder. Rounder. Shoot the bit. Don't go too fast. 1, 2. Look at the neck. Look at his neck muscle. All the way up to the wither. Look down. It should be a little bit lower. And as you finish here, you want to gradually lower the pole. A little more. So, I haven't seen this horse before, have I?
This is Tommy. I don't think so.
Okay, what happened to your other horse?
TJ's gonna be on today.
Oh yeah, okay, got it. Good. Well, tell me a little bit about, are we good, Amie? I'm glad you're waiting to do the downward. We need to have that neck completely inflate before you let him go down. If you want to go to sitting trot, you can. Control him with the outside leg and the outside rein. Outside leg, outside rein, and the inside shoulder. So as soon as you feel some kind of accumulation of feeling of control on the inside rein, you need to use the other aids. You know what I mean? Like that's a little bit of a red flag.
Well, yeah, and I think that's a key because I don't feel that, and I'm always waiting on it, and I've got to.
Yeah, as soon as there's a preponderance of dependency on one of your aids, you're like, wait, there must be other helpers here in the room.
Yeah.
Who are the people that are not
We get
lifting
in this
a...
argument on the inside rein. I'm like, give it to him, and he's like, no. So I
No,
need
do
to
the other. You have to do all the aids of
come
replacement.
back
I call
and it can
them
happen.
aids of replacement.
Yeah.
What if not, if I had no, like I actually have a friend who actually has one arm and she rode to Grand Prix. She has one hand, one tempi, half pass, blah, blah, blah.
She'd be really good at working equitation.
Well, she rode with Nuno. She was like, and
perfect
she's
then.
amazing. She helped me edit books. So anyways, think about her. If I had no right hand, okay?
What I do?
I would not be able to pull, or we would not be able to get into this
Yeah.
discussion. So don't try to have the discussion. It's like me coming to you and say, okay, let's gossip about everybody.
Yeah.
It's like you're like, no, we're going to have a meditation session, not gossip, right? You have to just change the coffee clutch.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Because you want to get to resolution almost by surprise,
Yeah.
right? Oh, I changed the subject.
Yeah.
See, you're not stronger, you're smarter.
Yeah.
As soon as you get into this, like, I'll make him do it. you're going to the I can outstrength you, and
Which
you have
is
to be.
never
Oh,
gonna
I'm changing the
happen.
subject. We're talking about green bottles now,
Yeah,
right? Not the inside range.
right.
Good
Okay.
job. Well, your riding is just getting better and better.
That's what we want. Hey, stop with the barking at the horse.
So tell me his age and breed,
Oh, yeah. No.
and
She was coming after
how
his
often.
tail. She
Oh,
thinks
good,
she's
this is
fancy.
right in the
Right up
water.
at me as I'm petting her, going.
How old is Tommy?
21. He's 10 years younger than my other horse. 31.
It's been a long time since
you
he's
were
worked.
All right.
I mean, like him. Like you.
I know, he's getting better and better and better. Yeah, amazing what one stopping the bad riding.
Can I do that?
Just letting him get on.
Questions? Do you
I
have
know.
questions for me?
Because we're going to braid it sometime or another. So next
Yeah.
we're going to go to Tech next weekend to do a demonstration.
Here? You know, we're not really
Yeah.
here to,
Yeah,
you know,
she
with a
hasn't
horse
learned
like
yet
this,
about horses, so
he's not a 4-year-old.
yeah. No, come here.
He's not a 4-year-old.
Let's
Start
stop
him
and
off
start the
being
Pivo so
wacky.
we don't have one more video.
All these tonight.
Because I probably hit him with the whip.